Good morning, students. Now we are going to start with the new topic, that is joint stock companies. Okay. Now, joint stock companies are the form of organizations which are basically being used only when we want to carry out business activities at a very large scale. Okay, we want public fund to be invested into business. So, since it is not possible in case of sole proprietor form of business, it is not possible in case of joint Hindu family form of business or partnership or cooperative society to attract the public investment from general public into a business organization. So what we do is that we form another form of organization which is known as joint stock. Joint stock because here the investment into the company is being jointly held by large number of individuals who are directly and indirectly the owners of the business. Okay, so there is an owner who has sold his shares, so there is a person who is the direct owner of the company, and he has sold his percentage of shares to the private investors. Okay, and then they becomes the then or to the public individuals in general public, so they also becomes the indirect owner of the company since they use their ownership through the board of directors. Okay, so these shareholders have the authority to vote for the board of directors, and then those board of directors are working for the betterment of the company. Okay, so for example, Reliance Jio. Mukesh Ambani was the owner of, is Mukesh Ambani is the owner of Reliance Jio, but nowadays he is selling his shareholding in Reliance Jio. He has sold 9.97% of his shareholding to Facebook, then 2.3% or 2.25% to some private equity organization, then 1.2% to some other organization, through which he has generated 60,000 plus crores of money from Reliance Jio platform only. Okay, so that is, so Mukesh Ambani is the owner. Okay, and if someday he brings a public issue into the market for investing into Reliance Jio, where general public is also allowed to invest into that particular company, then there is a direct owner who is Mukesh Ambani. He is having the control over the company, and then the public will be there who has invested money into that company, and they have held the shares of that company, so they are indirectly the owners of the company who has the authority to vote in the vote and appoint the board of directors. So there is a, so that's why we are saying that this stock, the fully paid shares of the company, stock is fully paid shares of the company, are being held by the owners as well as the indirect owners who are the shareholders. Shareholders who can be the part of private equity shareholders, or who can be the general public who has invested into this form of this particular company. So that is what a joint stock company is. So we were talking about that in order to expand the business operations in a far and wide way, in order to get investments from general public, we have another format of organizations. That format of organization is known as joint stock form of company, where a company sells its shares to general public and attracts the investment from masses to expand its operation, and that form of company is known as joint stock company. Okay, so let's talk about some of the aspects. Joint stock company, a company formed under the provisions of Companies Act 2013. Okay, earlier it was Companies Act 1956, Section 313 of Companies Act 1956. Now that has been changed to Companies Act 2013. Okay, it is an artificial person having separate existence and is working as per business entity concept. Business entity concept अकाउंट्स में पढ़ेंगे तो उसमें क्या है कि business and its owners or those who have invested money into the business, they are totally different individuals from each other. There is a corporate wheel between them. Unless until that corporate wheel is lifted, they are they are the separate entities. They have the separate legal existence. Having separate legal existence, okay, that means a company can enter into agreements, sue the individuals, public firms, and can be sued by थर्ड पार्टीज. ओके, तो ये एक बेनिफिट है इसका. और फिर क्या है, इट हैज़ ए कॉमन सील विच acts as its signature. ओके, तो अगर किसी इंडिविजुअल ने किसी ऑफिशियल डॉक्यूमेंट के ऊपर साइन कर दिए और स्टैंप नहीं लगाई तो वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का नहीं माना जाएगा वो. ठीक है जी, चाहे लेटर हेड पे आप लिख के भेज दो सब कुछ, वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का नहीं माना जाएगा. वो सिर्फ इंडिविजुअल की पर्सनल कम्युनिकेशन मानी जाएगी. अगर ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल कम्युनिकेशन बनानी है, क्योंकि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अपने आप में एक लीगल एग्जिस्टेंस रखता है, वो सेपरेट है इंडिविजुअल से. मतलब सीईओ जो है वो एक इंडिविजुअल है, वो तब तक सीईओ माना जाएगा किसी कंपनी का जब तक उसके सिग्नेचर के नीचे काउंटर सिग्नेचर हैं कंपनी की स्टैंप के. अगर कंपनी की स्टैंप के सिग्नेचर्स नहीं हैं, कंपनी की स्टैंप नहीं है उसके सिग्नेचर्स के साथ, तो वो कंपनी के सिग्नेचर्स नहीं माने जाएंगे, कंपनी की कम्युनिकेशन नहीं मानी जाएगी. वो सीईओ है या नहीं है, दैट आई डोंट नो. ओके, सो दैट इज़ द इशू विद दिस कि कंपनी अपनी कम्युनिकेशन अपने ऑफिशियल सिग्नेचर के थ्रू करती है और उससे क्या कहते हैं हम, कॉमन सील. इट इज़ द स्टैम्प ऑफ द कंपनी एंड वी हैव अंडरस्टूड दैट कंपनी इज ए आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन. मतलब हमारे पास अकाउंट्स में एक टर्मिनोलॉजी हम पढ़ रहे हैं, पर्सनल अकाउंट. ओके, पर्सनल अकाउंट में एक रियल पर्सनल, एक नॉमिनल पर्सनल होता है और एक होता है आर्टिफिशियल पर्सनल होता है. रियल पर्सनल तो होते हैं जो जीते जाते इंसान होते हैं. नॉमिनल पर्सनल होते हैं जो बैंक्स, क्लब्स, इंस्टीट्यूशंस हो गए. और आर्टिफिशियल पर्सनल हो गए, सॉरी, रियल पर्सनल और नॉमिनल. आर्टिफिशियल पर्सनल में दो में बटा हुआ है. बैंक्स, इंस्टीट्यूशंस जो हैं जिनके नाम हैं, या रियल पर्सनल हैं जो जीते जागते हैं, वो तो दो हो गए आपके पास इंडिविजुअल्स. ओके, एक रिप्रेजेंटेटिव पर्सनल है, जैसे आउटस्टैंडिंग एक्सपेंडिचर्स हैं या आपके पास एक्रूड इनकम है। तो यहाँ पे जो नॉमिनल पर्सनल थे, जो आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन जिनको हम कह रहे हैं, रियल पर्सन आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन आर देयर, एक रिप्रेजेंटेटिव पर्सनल है। तो जो आर्टिफिशियल पर्सनल इंडिविजुअल है वो ये है कंपनी, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की अपनी एक स्टैंप है, एक सील है, वो जब तक नहीं लगा रहे हो तब तक वो कंपनी की कम्युनिकेशन नहीं मानी जाएगी। तो इट हैज अ कॉमन सील which acts as signatures, okay, through which it enters into various agreements, okay। तो ये आपके पास important है, it is having a common seal, fine। and here these are being, these shares, the shares being held by shareholders in a company are transferable। तो ये एक इम्पॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है। पार्टनरशिप में आप हिस्सा नहीं आगे ट्रांसफ़र कर सकते किसी को। अगर आपने रिटायरमेंट लिया तो जो आपका हिस्सा है वो रिमेनिंग पार्टनर्स को सेल ऑफ करके जाओगे। यहाँ क्या है, शेयर होल्डर्स जो भी हैं वो अपना जो शेयर है वो किसी और इंडिविजुअल को सेल ऑफ कर सकते हैं। सो इट इज़ इजीली ट्रांसफरेबल इन केस ऑफ ए in a joint stock company, okay। and this is formed, this is formed for the purpose of earning profits, okay। So another important thing is it is formed for the purpose of earning profits, so that is what we are saying, fine। तो जो आपने क्या किया है, आपने क्या किया है, और यहाँ पे एक वर्ड बोलते हैं हम शेयर्स, ओके। शेयर्स क्या है, द स्मॉल portions in which capital of the company is divided, ओके। तो आपने क्या किया, एक शेयर की कीमत रख दी 100 रुपये, 1000 रुपये या 10 रुपये, तो जितनी टोटल इन्वेस्टमेंट है उसको उससे डिवाइड कर दिया तो नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स बन जाएंगे, ओके। तो कंपनी क्या है, इस डेफिनेशन से, एक कंपनी विच इज फॉर्म्ड अंडर द प्रोविजन ऑफ कंपनीज एक्ट 2013 इज एन आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन। सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज, इट इज एन आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन हैविंग सेपरेट लीगल एग्जिस्टेंस, ठीक है जी। एक आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन है, उसके सेपरेट लीगल एग्जिस्टेंस है, और ये कंपनी एंटर कर सकती है एग्रीमेंट्स को, केस फाइल कर सकते हैं इंडिविजुअल्स या फर्म्स के अगेंस्ट, और इसके अगेंस्ट भी केस फाइल किया जा सकता है, ओके। और ये जो भी एग्रीमेंट एंटर करती है वो किसके थ्रू एंटर कर रही है, कॉमन सील के थ्रू। तो कॉमन सील इसका क्या है, सिग्नेचर है, स्टैंप जो है वो इसका सिग्नेचर है। अगर वो स्टैंप नहीं यूज़ की तो इसके सिग्नेचर नहीं माने जाएंगे, मतलब कंपनी का कम्युनिकेशन, कंपनी का एग्रीमेंट नहीं माना जाएगा, ओके। एंड ये जो शेयर्स हैं किसने, किसके पास होते हैं, शेयर होल्डर्स के पास होते हैं। शेयर क्या होता है, ये आपके पास हमने डेफिनेशन दिया है, ए शेयर इज द स्मॉलेस्ट पोर्शन इन विच द होल कैपिटल ऑफ द बिजनेस हैज बीन डिवाइडेड, ओके। मतलब आपने क्या किया, पूरे के पूरे पैसे को स्मॉलर नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स में बांट दिया, उसे हम क्या कहते हैं, शेयर कहते हैं, ओके। एंड दीज शेयर्स आर इजीली ट्रांसफरेबल, आप इनको ट्रांसफर कर सकते हो, सेल ऑफ कर सकते हो फ्रॉम वन इंडिविजुअल टू अनदर इंडिविजुअल, दैट इज द अनदर इम्पॉर्टेंट। और ये कंपनीज जो बनाई जाती हैं ये किसके लिए बनाई गई है? प्रॉफिट कमाने के लिए बनाई गई है। जो भी आपकी बिजनेस में इन्वेस्ट करेगा वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ प्रॉफिट कमाने के लिए, डिविडेंड कमाने के लिए इन्वेस्ट करेगा। दैट इज व्हाट द डेफिनेशन ऑफ जॉइंट स्टॉक कंपनी इज। ओके, अब आ जाते हैं हम इसके फीचर्स के ऊपर। फीचर्स ऑफ अ कंपनी। सबसे पहला क्या है फीचर इसका कि ये एक आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन है। So a company is an artificial person which is formed under the provisions of Companies Act 2013 and has a separate legal existence। मतलब एक इंडिविजुअल है जो किस में बना है? लॉ के अंडर रजिस्टर हुआ है, लॉ के हिसाब से बना है। मतलब एक इंडिविजुअल, एक होता है रियल इंडिविजुअल, रियल पर्सनल, मतलब जीता जागता इंसान। ये जीता जागता इंसान नहीं है बट उसके जैसा है जो लॉ में क्रिएटेड है। ओके, सो इट इज एन आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन बिकॉज इट इज फॉर्म्ड अंडर द प्रोविजंस ऑफ द कंपनीज एक्ट 2013। ओके, एंड इट कैन ओन, मतलब एज ए पर्सन जो एक इंडिविजुअल कर सकता है। क्या कर सकता है? कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स एंटर कर सकता है। ओके, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स कैन बी साइन, फाइन। इट कैन incur debt। ओके, इट कैन file cases। ओके, it can be sued by third parties for not fulfillment of the agreement। ओके, तो ये जो कुछ है, जो लॉफुल एक्टिविटीज हो सकती हैं वो सारे काम कर सकता है ये पर्टिकुलर इंडिविजुअल। इसलिए इसे हम क्या कहते हैं? आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन। बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है, इट इज एन आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन। सेकेंड इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज इट हैज ए सेपरेट लीगल एंटिटी। ओके, सेपरेट legal entity। okay, means promoter and company are two different individuals। okay, जो बिजनेसमैन है, जो रियल पर्सन इंडिविजुअल जिसने बिजनेस को इस्टेब्लिश किया, ओके, वो और जो कंपनी है वो दोनों अलग अलग हैं। तो जो भी एसेट्स एंड लायबिलिटीज होंगे इसके अपने होंगे। एसेट्स एंड लायबिलिटीज इस कंपनी के अपने होंगे। ओके, तो ये एक है। और ये किस में बनता है? दिस कंपनी इज फॉर्म्ड एज पर लॉ। तो मतलब ये टोटली डिफरेंट हो गया अपने बिजनेस से। ओके, तो बिजनेसमैन से टोटली डिफरेंट हो गया, कोई लेना देना नहीं है। बिजनेसमैन और कंपनी दोनों अलग अलग हैं आपस में, इनका आपस में कोई रिलेशनशिप नहीं है। बिजनेसमैन इज द इन्वेस्टर इन दिस कंपनी एंड दिस कंपनी comes into existence only because of law। The legal provisions are giving existence to this company। That is the another important aspect। Formation। okay, इसकी formation बहुत महंगी है। Formation first it takes lots of time। okay, second requires to fulfill various legal formalities. Okay. Third, formation is a costly phenomenon. ओके तो पहले आपको कई डॉक्यूमेंट्स बनाने पड़ेंगे, सीए हायर करना पड़ेगा, बैंकर्स हायर करने पड़ेंगे, मेमोरेंडम ऑफ एसोसिएशन बनाना पड़ेगा, आर्टिकल्स ऑफ एसोसिएशन बनाने पड़ेंगे, उसमें 7 लोग डिसाइड करने पड़ेंगे, बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स डिसाइड करने पड़ेंगे, तो वेरियस फॉर्मेलिटीज़, और हर फॉर्मेलिटी को कंप्लीट आपको ये सारे न्यूज़पेपर्स में सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स जहाँ जहाँ ये जो जो इंटरेस्टेड पार्टीज़ हैं उनसे परमिशंस लेनी पड़ेगी, इंफॉर्मेशन पब्लिक करनी पड़ेगी. सो देयर आर नंबर ऑफ इश्यूज विच यू नीड टू फुलफिल. ओके. और क्या है कि इसमें रजिस्ट्रेशन कराने में एक स्पेशल फीस लगती है, तो एक तो कॉस्टली बहुत है ये. ओके. टाइम बहुत ज़्यादा लेता है, एंड देयर आर नंबर ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स विच नीड टू बी फुलफिल्ड to be completed, then only this form of company comes into existence. So formation is a lengthy process. Another important feature is perpetual succession. Perpetual succession मतलब continuity of business. Okay. Continuity of business is not affected till company is not declared illegal by law. Okay. And its existence does not depends upon members of company. That's why members may come, members may go, but company will continue to exist for number of years till rendered illegal. तो ये इसका है परपेचुअल सक्सेशन. मतलब सक्सेशन इसकी किसी इंडिविजुअल के ऊपर नहीं बेस्ड है, इसकी कॉन्टिन्यूटी लॉ के ऊपर बेस्ड है. लॉ ने जब तक इसको इलीगल नहीं डिक्लेयर किया, ये कंपनी कंटिन्यू करेगी, चाहे सारे मेंबर्स इसके किसी बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट में डेथ हो जाएं. ओके. फिर भी ये कंपनी कंटिन्यू टू एग्जिस्ट करेगी क्योंकि लॉ ने इसे इलीगल नहीं डिक्लेयर किया है. फिर है कंट्रोल. ओके. कंट्रोल ऑफ दिस कंपनी लाइज इन द हैंड्स ऑफ द बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स. ओके. Control lies with board of directors. Okay. Board of directors are the individuals who have been chosen by the shareholders. Okay. By the shareholders through their voting. Okay. And these board of directors appoint the top management officials who are working for the company in a professional manner. Okay. So that is how this control of these companies is. So shareholders are not directly involved into day-to-day functioning of the company. Shareholders are just voting for the board of directors, and board of directors are then appointing the managers or professionals who will be working for the smooth functioning of the company. That is the another important aspect. Then liability. The liability of the members in this is limited to the extent of capital invested. Liability is limited to the invested. Okay. So liability in this form of organization is limited to the extent of capital invested. That means your personal property cannot be held responsible for repayment of losses of the company. Then there is a common seal. Okay. Common seal is the official signature of the company. Without that official signature of the company, this form of company does not cannot enter into any agreement, or any agreement which is being entered on behalf of the company without common seal on the document will be rendered null and void. So it is very important that the agreement is being entered on the basis of the whatever the agreement is being entered on behalf of the company, a stamp is being placed on that particular document showing that this document belongs to such and such company. Then only we can consider that agreement as the legal agreement. Okay. Risk bearing is that here, in case of the risk bearing, all the shareholders are having the equal amount of risk. Risk means that they have to bear the risk to the extent of the capital invested into the business. Okay, and nothing more is to be charged from them. But there is a problem that in case the company suffers the losses, so first of all the repayment is being done to the creditors and debenture holders. Then at the end, whatever the money is being left is being distributed amongst the shareholders, and sometimes it can be possible that they will not receive their money back. So the maximum problem is being faced by the shareholders, and in lieu of that maximum problem, they are also being rewarded in the form of profits also. So that is what the risk bearing is. Okay. And then another important is transfer of shares. Like in partnership, you can't transfer the shareholding of the individual who has retired from the partnership firm to any third party. You have to sell that back to the remaining shareholders. But in case of joint stock company, you can easily transfer your shares to the third party. You can sell off and can exit from that particular company. So that is the another important benefit in this form of company. Okay. So that is what the features of a joint stock company is. Now coming over to the merits. Okay. First merit is limited liability. Okay. First merit is limited liability. So merits of joint stock company. First merit of joint stock company is that it has a limited liability. Limited liability means that the shareholders owe the liability to the extent of capital invested in the business. They can't be asked to repay the losses of the company out of their personal property. Only their losses to the extent of capital invested can be charged from them. That is what the limited liability is, and this is the benefit of joint stock company. Second is transfer of interest. Okay. Transfer of interest is that you are not bound to sell those shares back only to company itself, but you can easily sell those shares of the company to any third party, to any outsiders, and can easily exit from that particular company. So that is the another important benefit of joint stock company, that the transfer of shares, transfer of the interest of the investors into this form of business can be easily transferred from one party to another party, whether he is member of the company or not. but on getting those shares from the another shareholder, he will become the member of that company. He will get registered into the name, he will get registered in the registers of the company. So that is the benefit of joint stock form of company, unlike the other forms of company. Then there is perpetual existence. Perpetual existence is that the company will continue to exist and survive for coming number of years till it has been rendered illegal by the provisions of law. As it is legal and it will continue to work whether the number of members, all the members who have started the business might have exited from that particular company and it is being run by new individuals, that makes no difference, but it should be a legal one and is not rendered or no illegalities have been found in under the provisions of law of the Companies Act. Till that time it will continue to work and survive for the coming number of years. So it is not affected by the existence or survival of the members. Okay, it is only the law which will render it legal or illegal. That is the another important merit. Okay, then scope of expansion. It can easily expand its operation far and wide by raising funds from general public. General public feel that the projects, the proposals which the business is going to put in front of them are a fruitful one, the safe one, they can earn lot of benefits out of this company. So they will lend their money, they will invest their money in these forms of companies, and it can be expanded far and wide. So there are number of joint stock companies like Facebook is there, Reliance is there, Tata is there, Birla is there. So they have expanded their operations not within the particular state or particular country, but in many countries by getting the investment from general public, and thus expanded their operation far and wide. So that is the another important merit of joint stock company. Then there is professional management. Okay. The another important benefit of this is, since these companies are having huge amount of money available at their disposal, so they can appoint the best of the professionals in various fields. Like in marketing, they can go for various types of marketing professionals. In finance, they can go for various types of finance professionals by paying huge amount of money for their specialization in different fields. In economics, they have different experts available. Accounting, they have different experts available with them who are managing minutely each and every activity in those large organizations. So that is the another important benefit, that they can hire professionals. They don't have to worry about the money which they are going to pay to these professionals for running these organizations. Okay, so that is the another important thing, that they have the experts available from various areas who are helping these organizations run in a profitable manner, in a proper, efficient and effective manner, and generate the benefits as expected. So that is the another important merit of starting running a joint stock company. Now there are certain demerits also. Okay. So first demerit is that complexity in formation. Okay. First demerit is complexity in formation. As per complexity in formation, that it requires great efforts, time, legal formalities, various documents, various aspects to be fulfilled to make sure that the money invested by general public is in the safe hands. they are invested in right projects, and these projects are going to work for a longer time period and are going to generate sufficient amount of profit that people feel happy and feel invested into these forms of companies. So it is very complex to start a joint stock company because it requires various aspects to be fulfilled before carrying out before running a joint stock company. Okay. Another is lack of secrecy. Lack of secrecy because all the documents had to be submitted for public scrutiny. Means balance sheet, profit and loss, and various other documents have to be submitted for public scrutiny. Since general public has invested huge amount of money, they have their vested interest in these organizations, and if they are not comfortable with the way the documents are being presented, they can leave these organization and can bring bad name to the organization. So in order to make them feel comfortable, in order to make them feel reinvested or make them confident about the company, it is very important that the documents which are asked by them or required by them for public scrutiny should be subjected to public scrutiny, and because of which the information flows out of the company, and that is the another reason why there is less secrecy as compared to other forms of business organization. Okay. Then another is impersonal work environment. Impersonal work environment. Okay. Since all the employees who are working in these organizations are not their personal property or personal asset. Since that is not their personal asset, the sense of self-belongingness is missing in these form of organization, as they all know that they are being paid for the services they are providing, because they feel that the profits and the benefits, maximum amount of these are being generated by the owners of the business, not by the employees, and they are just employees and they have to work for a particular salary, and after that their liability, their responsibility towards the business is no more. Okay, so that sense of self belongingness, which is generally found in case of sole proprietor business, form of business, or partnership, or joint Hindu family business, that is many times missing from the minds of employees, and that is the another important demerit of these forms of organization, that they are not running these organizations, they are not guiding the management as per this environment which is prevailing, or the changes which are coming in the environment. Okay, so that problem always lies in these types of organization, that they are having impersonal work environment. Okay, then there is delay in decision making. Since there is a big panel of experts who is sitting, they are planning, they are organizing resources, making numerous types of plans, investing huge amount of money in planning process only. So while taking the decision, it takes a lot of time, because the majority of time is spent in planning various activities and then implementing them into the organization. There is the problem, that you have to consult with various experts, you have to get the ground reports, you have to analyze them, you have to compile them, then you have to discuss among various board of directors, and finally you have to reach up to a decision whether to do a work or not. But in case of other forms of organization, since they are small and they are being run by a few individuals, so in those forms of organization, decision making is very fast, but here it takes time, it takes lot of efforts to take up a decision, because it can as it involves huge amount of investment, it can have a big implication also onto the survival of the business. So that is the another important reason why there is delay in decision making. Okay, then there is oligarchic management. This is known as management by a few. Means shareholders vote for board of directors, they appoint managing directors, and who takes decision. Okay, so मैनेजमेंट आप कह तो रहे हो कि हमारे 1 लाख इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, 1 लाख शेयर होल्डर्स हैं, मतलब ऑनर्स हैं, मगर सारे 1 लाख नहीं बिजनेस को चला रहे हैं। उन्होंने क्या किया, वोट करके बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स अपॉइंट कर दिए। बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स ने कुछ मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर कर दिए जो कंसल्टेंसी दे रहे हैं, और फिर उस कंसल्टेंसी के बेसिस पे बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स एक डिसीजन लेते हैं। तो मतलब पूरी की पूरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को, जहां 1 लाख या 5 लाख इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, उसको कुछ 25-30 लोग चला रहे हैं, जो एक पैनल, या 10 लोग हैं जो एक पैनल में बैठे हुए हैं, जो डिसाइड करेंगे आफ्टर गेटिंग दी expert advice that what is to be done and what is not to be done, where to be invested and not to be invested. So all that is done by a few individuals who are sitting in the board of directors and who were being appointed by the shareholders. So these 10 are working on behalf of lakhs of shareholders, and that's why it is known as oligarchic management or rule by a few individuals. Okay, so that is the another important demerit. Okay, that every other individual is not involved into this decision making activity. Okay, but this decision making process is being enjoyed only by a few board of directors. They are having the authority to take decisions on behalf of the investors and decide what is good and bad for them, and sometimes it can be a wrong decision also. Okay, and the last is the conflict of interest. Okay, conflict of interest, that there are various stakeholders in the company like employees, the consumer, the suppliers. Okay, so all of them are having their own vested interest, and because of those clash of vested interests, it can be possible that these companies can suffer losses. So those are the demerits of the joint stock company. Okay, so that is all with the various forms of companies. Okay, now after this we will be doing various types of companies: one person company, private company, and public company. Thanks.